Hello traders, welcome back to my channel. In this video I'm going to take you through my analysis for gold, EURUSD, GBPUSD and GBPJPY for the upcoming week. It's going to be a top-down analysis starting from the higher time frame and working my way down to the lower time frame. And also I will be identifying some key areas to look out for price reactions in the coming week. I'm also going to be identifying the trends, and I will let you know the areas where I'm expecting price to react and the direction I'm expecting price to head to. So to start off, I'm going to go through gold analysis, again starting from the daily time frame, and I'll work my way down to the hourly time frame. So on the daily time frame, we can see that price has been in this strong trend, uptrend for quite some time. Actually, at a certain point between April to August, price was ranging in this triangular pattern here that we can identify, which I'm going to draw now, and we can see price was ranging within that triangular pattern and then broke out of that pattern sometime in September, and price has continually been in the uptrend, forming higher highs and higher lows. In the last few days, price hit a high of 3,790, which I'm going to identify here, reach this high area, and when price got there, price again bounced back and has failed to break that new high levels. But then again, you can see the other daily candle that has formed has also formed lower highs there. If we go down to the 4-hour time frame, we can also identify some key areas on the lower time frame where we can possibly see price reactions. As I mentioned, this was the high that price formed last week around that area. I'm going to make it more of an area rather than just a single level, and you can see price coming back up into that zone there to retest it, and then forming on Friday this strong bullish reversal candlestick pattern. Again, I'm going to identify the previous lows as well, to see where price again bounced off that area there, and also other key areas that we need to look out for in the coming weeks as well. Yeah, so essentially these are key areas where we need to look out for price reactions in the coming days. If we go down to the hourly time frame, where we will be looking to take our but when we looked at the higher time frame, we can see that price was in a strong uptrend, so we need to keep that at the back of our minds. Okay, and now that we know that price has been in an uptrend, there haven't been a break really of major structural levels. When by major structural levels, I mean if you look at this previous high down here around the 37.25 area, this box here, we can see that price now has bounced off resistance, is heading back towards that area. Now if price continues this downtrend and gets to this support area here, this will be a very key area, because if price does break this level, it means this previous lows have been taken out, and then I would expect price to continue to the downside. So price may come down a bit into this area here again, as we can see, go back up to form a lower high, and then possibly continue this downtrend until we get into the, which will be around the 36.25 area. Again, these are levels that I'm looking at and to see possible reactions. Now this is the possibility if price breaks this support area. On the other hand, if price gets down to the support area and does not break it, and we see price forming a bullish reversal pattern around this area here, and we need to wait for confirmation as well, because if a bullish candlestick forms, we need other confirmation to help support our move to the upside. And if that happens, you can also take a buy back into this resistance level, and possibly price still breaking this resistance level again and forming higher highs, and then this uptrend just continues. But at a certain point in time, this will be exhausted and price would need to retrace to gather a bit of momentum to move to the upside. Again, rather than target price would reverse form for you to take a sell trade, my advice would be to follow the trend, which has been an uptrend as we can see here. And rather than looking for where price is going to top and then take a reversal from there, just follow the uptrend. If price look for significant areas of support where price could possibly come down to retest. So again, using the trend line, we can see areas where price has tested, okay, multiple times on that trend line, and my bias would be price getting back into the zone here, as well as this trend line. A break of this trend line essentially would signify a break in the pattern of the chart. Like I mentioned, it would signify taking out these previous lows and then forming lower highs and lower lows, as well as confirming that support is broken, trend line is broken, and if there is a strong bullish candle to support that as well, that would give us more reason to sell. But then again, you also need to be cautious because, as I mentioned previously, the overall trend is bullish, so whatever sell will be happening would more or less be a retracement. So essentially, key area to identify or to look out for gold this coming week would be this area over there, which is the 37.25 area, okay, or zone more or less. That is where I'll be expecting to see price reacting, okay. A key area will be this resistance level up here, which is at where the previous high was, essentially 37.90 area. So we need to keep in mind these two key levels, and where we see price reactions in those levels as well, we tend to take our trade for gold. Next, I'm going to talk about my analysis for EURUSD. Again, I'll start off with the weekly time frame and I'll work my way down to the hourly time frame where we will be taking our entry. Now, on the daily time frame, we can see that price again making higher highs and higher lows, forming this strong uptrend. And if we draw our trend line, we can see price testing those areas, and last week we can see price breaking through that uptrend, breaking previous low. If we go down to the 4-hour time frame, again we can see this closely, where you can see price touching the trend line several times, and finally price broke through that trend line in the last day or so to the downside, got an area of support, and now retracing back up. So I don't think this is price reversing per se, because I think there've been a bit of change in the market structure. So we need to have a look where price was forming higher highs, failed to break to form more higher. Again, there's a higher here, and it formed a lower high. So price got to the air and reversed back, failed to break past this down below here, got down to this next low, and then price started retracing back, I suspect, into this area here, low is, and then see price again give us a bearish signal to the downside to see some price retracements. So essentially, in terms of market structure, this is what I'm looking at, where price has failed to form a new high, but rather forming a lower high. So we can see one high here, where to close above that area. Price again from this lower high here as well, which is also another area to look out for. Price took out this low over here, as well as breaking through that trend line. So it's also another key area to look out for. So this coming week, the areas that we have identified so far, I will label them to let you know what those exact levels are, and then those are the areas that we will be looking to see some key reactions to in the coming days. Okay, and the last one would be down here as well. Okay, so these are the areas essentially that for me for USD are very key in the coming days. So most important area is this one here. That is the 1.172 or 1.173 area. All right, 1.173. So so this is the area that I'm looking to see price retrace up to, and if price gives me a sell signal from that area, most likely I would be willing to take a sell trade to the downside, to this back to the support level, and see whether or not price breaks that support level further to the downside, completing this sort of retracement for Euro USD. On the other hand, if price continues to move to the upside, breaking above this area, then I will be patient to see price take out this last high here, or if price does continue to the upside here, then I'll wait to see price form a lower or a higher low that's here, failing to break this previous look back to the upside. So this essentially is a sort of movement I'll be looking for, and that is why I've identified this area here as a key area for me. So even if price breaks, does not reverse from this 1.173 area and continues up to this next resistance area, which is the 1.18 area, or 1.182 area there, then I'll wait to see price bounce off that area to the downside. Yeah, so if price continues all the way to the upside, I'll wait till price gets to this level here and then see if price again reverses from there. Down, waiting to see price form a lower low and take a buy trade from there. But what my suspicion is, when price gets to this 1.173 area, it would probably form a reversal pattern candle there, and then move a bit to the down, retrace a bit more to the downside to complete this retracement move. So that has been my analysis for Euro USD. Moving on to GBP USD, again frame, and working my way down to the hourly time frame. For GBP USD, it's more or less the same thing as I mentioned previously. I was expecting to see price possibly break this trend line, which is what has happened, and you can see price retracing back up now. A similar pattern when you go down to the 4-hour time frame to the Euro USD, where price has broken through resistance through the trend line. You can adjust the trend line towards this area here, where you can see touch there and fail to close below, touch as well, and then finally broken this area. So again, for GBP USD, I would be expecting to see price come up into this zone here, and expecting to see some price reaction here to the downside, because we can see price initially forming higher highs and higher lows. Higher lows failed to break when the price got to this high, this previous low, so formed a new low, and from the lower high, and then cleared this previous low again, forming further low up to this resistance support level here, and now it's retracing to this zone here. That's previous support turned resistance. So, and that's why that area I'll be targeting to see if price gives me a sort of sell signal from that level. So my advice for the coming week is, let's see this area here identified. Again, these are key areas where we should be looking for reversal patterns or price to have a sort of significant reaction to. So 1.345 area for GBP USD. This area here is our key area. 1.345 area there. That is our key area where we'll be looking to see price reaction. Okay, if price does break through this area to the upside, then what I'll be looking to see is price possibly clearing this high here. And if price doesn't, then we expect price to get there rather than coming all the way down. Price might form a lower or a higher low here and then break through that level to the upside. And that is why I mentioned this 1.34 area is key for GBPUSD. And the next key area would be this 1.353 for GBPUSD. Okay, that is 1.353 area. So these are areas that we need to look out for this pair for the coming week and to see price reaction. So you can take a screenshot of this, wait for price to get to these areas and see how price reacts, and then we can always capitalize on the moves for these pairs. Now lastly, I'm going to talk about GBPJPY. Again, this is a pair that I haven't necessarily traded myself because it's really choppy, and so I try to avoid it as much as I can unless I see a very clear area to buy or to sell. Now this area I tend to go to a weekly time frame so I can have a proper look at the chart and see what's happening. You can see price again around this sort of resistance area. It seems price is breaking above that support resistance area, come back to retest it down the weekly time frame, and if you go down to the daily time frame, again roughly ranging around that area. So this is a pair that generally I would try to avoid, except I see a very strong and significant move for GBPJPY. But necessarily you can scalp it, you can day trade holding your positions for a very short time, but generally speaking I would say if you can avoid it, try to avoid this pair for the time being until we see a clear direction where price wants to go to. So this has been my analysis for the four major pairs: gold, EURUSD, GBPUSD, and GBPJPY. I hope you found this video very helpful. If you have, kindly leave a like, and if you haven't subscribed, kindly subscribe to the channel for more analysis videos. Thank you very much for watching and have a fantastic week ahead. Peace.